The command center buzzed with a nervous energy as screens flickered and analysts muttered under their breath. General Jack Carter stood at the forefront, his eyes locked on the main display. Today was a monumental day. Humanity was about to make its first official contact with an alien civilization, the Zekthar. The room was a blend of anticipation and dread, reflecting the gravity of what was about to unfold. As the appointed time drew near, the air grew thick with tension. Suddenly, the vast screen flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of the Zekthar ambassador. His features were sharp, his skin a deep shade of violet, and his eyes, piercingly bright, seemed to scrutinize each person in the room. "Earthlings," the ambassador began, his voice resonating through the speakers. "We have observed your civilization. Your technological progress is quaint, your military capabilities inadequate." The condescending tone was unmistakable, and a murmur ran through the room. General Carter stepped forward, clearing his throat. "Ambassador, we seek a peaceful exchange of knowledge and culture. We believe there is much we can learn from each other." The ambassador smirked, a gesture that seemed oddly human for such an alien face. "Learn from you? What could you possibly offer us besides a planet ripe for our taking?" His words were a cold splash of reality on the high hopes of Earth's representatives. "We are prepared to defend our world," Carter replied, his voice steady despite the sinking feeling in his gut. "But we prefer peace. We are not your enemies." "Defend?" The alien ambassador laughed, a harsh, grating sound that filled the command center. "Your primitive rockets, your basic weapons, do not provoke us, human. You would not survive." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving a heavy silence in its wake. The analysts began to whisper among themselves, and Carter felt the weight of their fear. He knew he had to act swiftly. Turning to his aide, he ordered, "Get me the status on all our outposts. I want every piece of data we have analyzed. We need to understand their technology, their tactics, and get our allies on the line. We may need to call in every favor we have." As the room sprung into action, Carter walked over to the window, gazing out at the blue curve of Earth below. The challenge was immense. The Zekthar were clearly more advanced and seemingly ready to destroy rather than dialogue. But Earth was not without its own strengths. Carter knew that the spirit of humanity was resilient, and somewhere within that resilience, he would find a way to protect his planet. Unbeknownst to him, far beyond the orbit of Mars, a message from the moon of Titan was racing towards Earth. It carried with it a revelation that would alter the course of the conflict, and indeed humanity's place in the cosmos. Back in the command center, the atmosphere was thick with urgency. General Jack Carter watched as his team worked tirelessly, analyzing the alien technology captured during the brief and unsettling first contact with the Zekthar. The data was worrying. Their ships were shielded by an energy layer far superior to anything on Earth. The murmurs of analysts filled the air, each one echoing the grim reality of their technological inferiority. Across the globe, leaders of Earth's nations held a series of clandestine meetings, hashing out strategies and alliances. These sessions, once fraught with political rivalries and economic disputes, were now marked by a singular focus: survival against the Zekthar threat. Carter joined these meetings via secure links, providing military insights and coordinating Earth's unified response. In one such meeting, an urgent report came in from a remote listening post in the Arctic. "General, we've detected unusual activity," an analyst reported, displaying satellite images of strange aerial phenomena, unmistakably Zekthar scouts. "They're probing our defenses, testing our response times." Carter's jaw set firmly. "Keep monitoring them. Relay any changes immediately." He turned back to the screen, addressing the world leaders. "This confirms it. They're not just threatening us, they're planning their next move. We need to be proactive." He proposed a bold plan to deploy special reconnaissance teams to gather more intelligence on the Zekthar's technology and intentions. These teams, composed of Earth's finest, would launch in stealth shuttles, modified to reduce their radar signature. The missions were high risk, but the need for superior intelligence was paramount. As preparations for these missions were underway, Carter received another piece of startling news. An encrypted transmission arrived from Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Initially dismissed as a malfunction or a stray signal, the message was clear upon decryption. "Titan colony to Earth command. We have technology to assist. Awaiting orders." Stunned, Carter called for an immediate private briefing with his closest advisors. "How is this possible? A colony on Titan?" he asked, his mind racing with the implications. It seems during the space race centuries ago, not all missions were public. Titan was one of them, a covert colony established in case Earth faced existential threats. It was lost to bureaucracy and secrecy, its existence blurred into myth, one advisor explained. Carter absorbed the news. A hidden colony could change everything. Establish a secure line to Titan. I want to know everything they can offer. Meanwhile, the reconnaissance missions proceeded. Teams were deployed to various locations where alien activity had been recorded. These brave individuals, operating under the veil of secrecy, gathered critical data, often at great personal risk. They managed to secure fragments of Zekthar technology, enough to provide Earth's scientists with insights, but not enough to close the technological gap. As Carter awaited the detailed briefing from Titan, he felt a mix of hope and apprehension. The hidden colony was promising, but so many questions remained. How advanced were they? Could they truly make a difference? And why had they remained silent until now? Back on Earth, the leaders concluded their strategy sessions with renewed resolve. The presence of the Titan colony, though shrouded in mystery, was a glimmer of strategic advantage they desperately needed. Plans were drawn up to integrate whatever help Titan could provide into Earth's defense strategy. As Carter ended the meetings, he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. The next steps would be crucial, and time was not on their side. General Jack Carter sat hunched over a console, staring at the live feed from Earth's outer orbital defense stations. The screens displayed the cold emptiness of space, punctuated occasionally by the silent, swift passage of Zekthar scout ships. Their presence was a grim reminder of the looming threat. Suddenly, an alert blared through the command center. One of the defense stations, orbiting high above the Atlantic, captured a large Zekthar warship breaching Earth's defensive perimeter. The ship's advanced cloaking technology had failed momentarily, likely due to a malfunction, providing Earth with its first detailed visuals of the enemy's capabilities. Enhance that image and analyze their shield frequency, Carter ordered, his voice cutting sharply through the tense air. Analysts scrambled to comply, their fingers flying over the controls. The data they gathered provided crucial insights into the Zekthar's shielding technology, which seemed to fluctuate at a frequency just within human technological reach. With this new information, Carter initiated a risky operation. He deployed a small fleet of drones equipped with experimental EMP charges, tuned to disrupt the Zekthar ship's shield frequency. The operation was a long shot, but it was their first real chance to test the enemy's defenses. Meanwhile, the secure communication line with Titan was finally established. Carter was greeted on screen by Commander Nolan Pierce, a man whose very existence was as astonishing as the advanced room he stood in. "General Carter," Pierce began, his voice calm and measured. "Titan has been preparing for a scenario like this for generations. We can offer advanced electromagnetic pulse weapons, stealth technology, and energy shields." Carter, absorbing every word, felt a surge of hope. "We need to integrate your technology immediately," he responded. "We've just gathered some intel on their shields. Any insights or enhancements you can provide would be crucial." As the conversation continued, details of the Titan technology were relayed to Earth's top scientists and engineers. Plans were quickly drawn up to incorporate this new tech into Earth's defenses and offensive capabilities. The cooperation marked a turning point, as technologies once deemed theoretical were now being prepared for deployment. Back in space, the drone operation was underway. As the drones approached the Zekthar warship, tension mounted in the command center. Each member of Carter's team held their breath as the drones, cloaked and silent, edged closer to their target. The moment the EMP charges were deployed, the ship's shields flickered and went dark for a crucial few seconds before emergency systems restored them. Although the attack did not destroy the warship, it achieved something perhaps more valuable: confirmation that the Zekthar were not invincible. Carter watched the replay of the shield failing, a small victory in what he knew would be a long fight. "Get me everything we learned from this skirmish. We need to know how to replicate this on a larger scale," he ordered. The day's events marked a shift in Earth's strategic capabilities. With Titan's advanced technology and the successful EMP deployment, Carter now had valuable tactical options at his disposal. Yet, he knew the war was just beginning. The Zekthar would retaliate, and Earth must be ready to defend itself with everything it had. As the command center buzzed with renewed activity, plans for further integration of Titan's technology were accelerated. Earth was still under threat, but now it had new weapons and new hope. Carter felt a cautious optimism as he prepared his next moves. Aware that the fate of humanity now rested on the success of these newfound alliances and the bravery of countless individuals defending their home planet, General Jack Carter arrived on Titan aboard one of the stealth shuttles designed by the hidden colony, marveling at the landscape that was both alien and familiar. As he disembarked, he was greeted by Commander Nolan Pierce, who welcomed him with a firm handshake that spoke volumes of the gravity and hope wrapped into this clandestine meeting. "Welcome to Titan, General," Pierce said, leading him into a sprawling underground complex illuminated by a soft, artificial light that mimicked Earth's sunlight. The facility was a marvel of technology, blending advanced human engineering with adaptations suited for life on Titan. "This is where we've developed the technologies we shared with you. There's much more to see." As they walked through the corridors, Carter observed the bustling activity of the colony. Scientists and engineers, all descendants of the original settlers, worked with a sense of purpose that reflected their commitment to their hidden mission, to be a bastion of last resort for humanity. Pierce led Carter into a high-security laboratory where Titan's most advanced technologies were developed. "Our isolation forced us to innovate," Pierce explained as he showed Carter prototype weapons and shields, far beyond what Earth had managed to develop. "We've had to be self-sufficient, to think differently. That's what we bring to this alliance." The general was particularly impressed by a new type of energy weapon that could potentially disable Zekthar ships without causing widespread destruction. This could change the dynamics of space combat, Carter mused, examining the sleek metallic device. The discussion soon turned to strategy. "Our stealth technology can help your fleet move undetected. Combined with the EMP tech you're adapting, we can start planning offensive operations that hit the Zekthar where they're not expecting," Pierce proposed. Carter nodded in agreement. "We need to act quickly. The Zekthar are regrouping, and we've only bought a little time with our last engagement." He was aware that each moment they delayed could give the Zekthar an edge in adapting to human tactics. The meeting concluded with a tour of Titan's command center, a hub of screens and instruments monitoring both the colony and space around it. Here, Carter and Pierce formalized the alliance between Earth and Titan, a pact sealed with the understanding that their united front was humanity's best hope for survival. As Carter prepared to return to Earth, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey back was filled with strategic planning, using the new insights and technologies gained from Titan. Arrangements were made for continuous communication and coordination between Earth's command and Titan's technological hub. Upon his return, Carter was greeted with urgent reports of increased Zekthar activity near Mars. The aliens were seemingly probing deeper into the solar system, perhaps testing Earth's newly formed defenses. This development confirmed the need for haste in deploying the new technologies and tactics. Back at Earth's command center, Carter briefed his team on the alliance with Titan. "We now have tools and allies that give us a real chance," he announced, boosting the morale of the room. He outlined the next phase of their defense plan, which involved coordinated strikes using Titan's stealth ships and the newly adapted EMP weapons. As Earth and Titan began to work in sync, a formidable task force was assembled, blending the best of both worlds. Carter watched as Earth's forces trained with the new technologies, a synergy of old Earth grit and new Titan innovation. The stage was set for humanity to not only defend its home, but to take the fight to the Zekthar. In the shadows of the solar system, a new alliance was taking shape, one that would soon unveil its power to an unsuspecting enemy. Carter knew the real battle was just beginning, but now humanity was not fighting alone. It was a powerful realization, and for the first time since the conflict began, he allowed himself a small, hopeful smile. General Jack Carter sat in the newly established war room on Earth, surrounded by screens displaying real-time data from across the solar system. The mood was tense but focused. Everyone present was aware of the stakes. Today, they would initiate their first major offensive using the combined technologies of Earth and Titan. "Status on the Titan stealth ships?" Carter asked, his voice steady. "All units are in position, General. They're cloaked and holding just outside the Zekthar perimeter around Mars," replied Lieutenant Graham, the operations officer. "Excellent. Begin the operation on my mark," Carter commanded, his finger poised over the console button that would unleash a new phase of the war. At his signal, the stealth ships, invisible to Zekthar sensors, advanced. Their target was a strategic Zekthar outpost on Phobos, one of Mars's moons, which served as a major communications hub for the alien fleet. Destroying it would cripple the Zekthar's ability to coordinate their forces quickly across the solar system. As the ships approached Phobos, The tension in the war room was palpable. Everyone watched the progress bars on the screens, indicators of the ships closing in on their target. The stealth technology provided by Titan made the vessels nearly undetectable, a stark contrast to Earth's earlier attempts at subterfuge. "Initiate the EMP pulse," Carter ordered quietly. The stealth ships deployed their EMP weapons simultaneously. The pulse was calibrated specifically to disrupt Zekthar technology, thanks to the intelligence gathered from earlier skirmishes. The screens showed the immediate effect. The outpost's lights blinked out, followed by a cascade of systems failures. "Direct hit, General. The outpost is disabled. Zekthar ships are in disarray," reported Lieutenant Graham, a hint of triumph in his voice. "Good. Launch the secondary strike. Target the disabled ships before they can recover," Carter directed, knowing the window of opportunity would be brief. The next phase involved a series of precise strikes from Earth's orbital platforms, now equipped with Titan's energy weapons. These platforms fired beams of concentrated energy, cutting through the vacuum of space to strike the disabled Zekthar ships orbiting Phobos. As each enemy vessel was hit, cheers erupted in the war room. It was a small early victory, but a significant one. Carter allowed himself a moment of satisfaction before turning his attention to the broader campaign. "Now, let's prepare for their countermove. Increase surveillance on all sectors. I want updates every 10 minutes, he instructed, fully aware that the Zekthar would not take this attack lightly. In the aftermath of the successful strike, Earth's strategic position improved dramatically. Carter received commendations from global leaders and military commanders, but he remained focused on the larger goal. The initial victory had given Earth and its colonies a much-needed boost in morale and strategic leverage. However, the war was far from over. Intelligence reports suggested that the Zekthar were amassing a larger fleet deeper in the solar system, possibly preparing for a significant counterattack. Carter knew that each victory brought its own set of challenges and that the Zekthar would adapt to the new human tactics. In response, Carter expanded the integration of Titan technology across Earth's defenses, planning more joint operations with the hidden colonies. Training programs were intensified, and the development of new weapons was fast-tracked. As Earth braced for the next phase of the conflict, Carter felt a cautious optimism. The alliance with Titan had turned the tide, but the true test of their combined strength was yet to come. In this high-stakes chess game with the Zekthar, Earth had finally made a decisive move, signaling to the galaxy that humanity would not go quietly into the night. In the aftermath of their successful assault on the Zekthar outpost, General Jack Carter and his team did not have long to revel in their victory. Reports of increased Zekthar activity across the solar system poured into the war room, indicating a swift and ruthless counterattack was imminent. The alien forces were adapting, learning from the tactics Earth had employed, and now they were regrouping with a focus that promised a significant challenge. "General, we have confirmed sightings of Zekthar reinforcements arriving near Jupiter. It looks like they're setting up for a major offensive," reported Major Harris, Carter's lead intelligence officer. "Visualize their movements on the main screen. Let's see their formations," Carter ordered, his eyes narrowing as he assessed the situation. The display lit up with the trajectories of the Zekthar ships, sleek, powerful vessels that now formed a menacing armada. Carter turned to his communications officer. "Send an alert to all Earth colonies and outposts. We need to consolidate our forces. Prepare for a system-wide defense posture." As Earth's forces braced for the Zekthar's response, Carter initiated a call to arms to the hidden human colonies he had recently learned about. Beyond Titan, colonies on Europa, Ganymede, and in the asteroid belt had been silently developing their own technologies and defenses. Now, they were being asked to unite under Earth's command to face a common enemy. Each colony responded with readiness, offering their unique capabilities. The asteroid belt colonies, adept in guerrilla tactics and asteroid mining, prepared to launch a series of hit-and-run attacks using mined asteroids as kinetic projectiles. Europa and Ganymede, with their expertise in energy-based technologies and cryogenic warfare, augmented the main fleet with specialized weaponry. "We are facing a crisis that threatens our very existence, but together, we are strong. Together, we can defend our homes and push back against this threat," Carter declared in a broadcast to all human territories. His message was clear. Unity was their greatest weapon. The Zekthar, sensing the consolidation of human forces, hastened their plans. A large fleet advanced towards Mars, intending to seize control of the planet's orbit, which would give them a strategic vantage point for further assaults. Carter, anticipating this move, coordinated a defense that integrated the diverse strengths of the human colonies. Stealth fighters from Titan flanked the Zekthar fleet, while the kinetic forces from the asteroid belt prepared their payloads. Energy weapons from Europa and Ganymede were positioned strategically around Mars, ready to strike. The battle began with an intense exchange of fire. Zekthar beams sliced through space, met by the powerful counterblasts of human energy weapons. Asteroids, redirected with precision, crashed into several Zekthar ships, breaking their formations and causing chaos. Amidst the chaos, Carter orchestrated the movements of his forces with calm precision. "Focus fire on their command ship. Disrupt their coordination," he commanded, watching as the joint human fleet executed his orders with devastating efficiency. As the battle raged near Jupiter, the stakes were higher than ever. Every ship, every weapon, every decision could tip the balance. But under Carter's leadership, the united human colonies were more than just survivors. They were warriors, defenders of their collective future. The battle near Jupiter would come to be known as the Battle of the Oracles, named after the ancient prophets who saw the future. For humanity, this battle was a glimpse into their potential future as a united force in the galaxy, a force that could not only defend, but could also challenge the might of the Zekthar. As the Zekthar fleet began to falter under the relentless human assault, Carter allowed himself a brief moment to watch the stars. They were so many, each potentially a home to civilizations yet unknown or battles yet unfought. For now, though, his focus remained on winning this war, one battle at a time. The conflict known as the Battle of the Oracles had escalated into one of the most significant confrontations in human history. As the Zekthar armada regrouped near Jupiter, their ships formed a menacing silhouette against the gas giant's swirling storms. General Jack Carter, coordinating from Earth's command center, prepared his forces for what he knew would be a pivotal moment in the war. With the combined might of Earth and its colonies now ready, Carter initiated the complex battle strategy they had refined over weeks of preparation. The human fleet, a mixture of Titan stealth ships, powerful cruisers from Earth, and specialized units from the outer colonies, moved into formation. "Commence Operation Blackout," Carter commanded, his voice resolute. This operation was designed to utilize the black hole trap that Earth's scientists had developed with technology from the hidden colonies. If successful, it would not only cripple the Zekthar fleet, but also send a clear message. Humanity was not to be underestimated. As the human ships engaged, they unleashed a barrage of energy fire and advanced missiles, designed to herd the Zekthar ships into a specific sector of space near Jupiter's orbit. The Zekthar, confident in their numerical superiority, responded with a fierce onslaught that lit up the void with destructive energy. Meanwhile, on a secret command ship, Carter and a team of physicists activated the black hole device. The device, a daring piece of experimental technology, created a temporary, controlled black hole, its gravitational pull designed to be irresistible to nearby objects. "Activate gravitational anchor now," Carter ordered. The anchor was a countermeasure to ensure that their own ships would not be sucked into the artificial singularity. As the black hole sprung to life, the battlefield changed dramatically. Zekthar ships, caught off guard by the sudden shift in gravity, began to drift uncontrollably towards the vortex. "Keep pressing, don't let up now," Carter encouraged his fleet. Human ships adjusted their positions, taking advantage of the chaos within the Zekthar ranks. Stealth fighters darted through the disoriented enemy formations, delivering precise strikes. As the black hole reached its peak intensity, several Zekthar ships were unable to escape its pull. They were dragged inexorably towards their doom, collapsing under the gravitational stress before being consumed by the singularity. With the bulk of the Zekthar fleet either disabled or destroyed, the remaining ships began a disorganized retreat. Carter watched as the tide of battle turned decidedly in humanity's favor. "Cease the singularity," he commanded, and the physicists deactivated the device. Space around Jupiter gradually returned to normal, studded with the debris of a once formidable Zekthar armada. In the aftermath, the human fleet moved through the battlefield, securing the area and rescuing any survivors. Carter communicated with his counterparts on Titan and the other colonies, his voice firm with pride. "Today, we stood together against a common enemy and prevailed. Let's ensure this victory is the beginning of a new era of security and cooperation." As celebrations began across human-controlled space, Carter felt a mixture of relief and resolve. The Battle of the Oracles would be remembered not only for its bold strategy and technological ingenuity, but also for the unity it forged among the scattered children of Earth. With the Zekthar now reeling from their defeat, Carter knew that the war might soon reach an end. But more importantly, he realized that humanity had awakened to its full potential. They were no longer isolated inhabitants of a single planet, but a united civilization capable of defending their future among the stars. In the quiet aftermath of the Battle of the Oracles, General Jack Carter stood before the assembled leaders of Earth and its colonies, gathered for the historic peace treaty signing with the Zekthar. The vast hall, temporarily erected on the neutral grounds of Luna, Earth's moon, was filled with representatives from every human settlement in the solar system. The air was charged with a sense of triumph and newfound respect for humanity's collective strength and unity. The Zekthar delegates, somber and defeated, approached the signing table. Their leader, once haughty and dismissive, now bore the expression of one who had come to acknowledge his adversary's resilience and ingenuity. As the documents were signed, Carter felt a profound shift in the dynamics of interstellar power. Humanity was no longer seen as an isolated or primitive force, but as a formidable federation capable of protecting its sovereignty and influencing galactic affairs. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter, Carter addressed the gathering, his voice resonant and clear. We faced a grave threat together and emerged stronger, not just in arms but in spirit. We have learned the importance of unity and the strength it brings. Let us move forward with the same courage and cooperation that brought us to this point. As the ceremony concluded, Carter mingled among the attendees, sharing handshakes and words of encouragement. He spoke with engineers from Titan, strategists from Europa, and fighters from the asteroid belt colonies, each conversation reinforcing the bond that had been forged in the heat of battle. Back on Earth, news of the treaty's signing was met with global celebrations. Cities lit up, and people poured into the streets, reveling in the end of conflict and the beginning of a lasting peace. Carter watched the festivities from a distance, his heart heavy with the cost of war, but hopeful for the future. In the days that followed, Carter spearheaded the integration of Titan's advanced technologies into Earth's societal fabric. New energy systems, propulsion methods, and defensive measures were adopted, accelerating human advancements in ways that were once unimaginable. The alliance with the colonies strengthened, leading to the establishment of a unified defense council and a shared scientific cooperative aimed at further exploration and colonization of the outer solar system. Humanity was pushing into new frontiers, united by common goals and a shared history of survival. As Carter prepared to retire from his role, reflecting on his journey, he realized the true victory was not just over the Zekthar, but over the divisions that had once kept humanity fragmented. The war had taught them the value of every individual, every colony, and the strength that comes from standing together. Looking out over the Earth from his office on Luna, Carter felt a surge of pride. The planet, once vulnerable and alone in the vastness of space, was now a vibrant member of a thriving community of worlds. Humanity had not only secured its place in the cosmos, but it also set the stage for a future filled with possibility. As the sun rose over Luna's horizon, casting a warm glow over the lunar plains, Carter knew that this new dawn was not just for him, but for all of humanity. The future was bright, filled with promise and the everlasting commitment to peace and prosperity among the stars.